Well, thank you, Monica. Thank all of you for allowing me to join you here today and welcoming me back among you here in my hometown. It's so good to be back home again and back around Scouts once more. I fondly recall my time in Scouting. I still have my neckerchief from Troop 147. I've kept it with me all these years as a reminder of what I learned in the Scouts, the reminder of our hikes in the Blue Mountains and the Cascades, community projects, but especially the friendships. The friends I made in Scouting are still my friends today, 5 decades later. I always felt sorry for those who weren't Scouts. I just felt like you didn't get the opportunities that I had. Everywhere I went in the world, as I left Washington State and wandered the world, I met Scouts, and our common experience gave us a starting point to get to know each other. Now we were in the military, we were in business, in sports, and I always felt that I was richer. I was richer because I had friends, thanks to the great Boy Scouts, who I knew I shared an awful lot with. When you get to having my color hair, what you like to do is pass on lessons learned to you young folks. And it's like an elevator rider. You know, we want to open the doors and bring you all on board an elevator with us. And then we'll close the doors and we'll tell you stories as we go up a few floors. Then we'll open the doors and say, now go on out there into life and you make your own mistakes. Don't make the same mistakes we made. Or here's what I learned along the way. And we carry you up there because that's our obligation to you, to teach you what we learned. That's part of our responsibility. But I think, too, that with Scouting, you develop a shared character that the ages go away. It doesn't mean anything different to you and I that we both took the Scout oath that you're young and I'm old. It means we're all Scouts is the bottom line. And the character you develop, the shared character we have today, the character that you develop in the Boy Scouts can help you make good decisions in life. Part of the reason I felt sorry for those who were never Scouts, they just weren't as prepared. They weren't as prepared for what life throws at us all. And good things and bad things happen to everybody. Their character wasn't given the chance to develop like ours. And it's no surprise because the Scouts' mission is to prepare you by building your character, helping you develop your character. Because it's character that will carry you through the tough times, my fine young people. Your character will strengthen your families. Your character will strengthen your communities. It will carry strength wherever you apply yourself in the future. And it starts with our oath. And to this day, I still strive to always live up to it. Where you say, on my honor. And when you and I give our word, when we say on our honor, it means that we'll do it, that we'll be true to our word. We say, I will do my best. And on this one, we all forget sometimes to do our best. We're not perfect. None of us are perfect. That's why we have to encourage each other. But I still recall once when I didn't do my best. I was a young guy in the Marines. We were on an obstacle course. The person I was competing against, I was way out in front of. I didn't have to give it 100%. Well, when I got done, my sergeant explained in no uncertain words how unhappy he was with me. He said, you were not giving 100%. You were not doing your best. And if you're only going to give 99%, then I'm going to be completely dissatisfied with you. And believe me, young man, you do not want to make a Marine sergeant dissatisfied with you. I learned that very, very early on. So where you keep the oath of the Boy Scouts fully in mind, you keep it fully focused on what you're doing, you're staying focused with it, then you'll always come out better no matter what obstacles in life you're going over. The Scout law that we all take means you must make choices every day, and life is all about choices. The Scout law says that a Scout is, not that a Scout tries to be, but a Scout is trustworthy, loyal. Two men meet on the street years after they've been in the Boy Scouts. They've long gone on about their lives and all, but they're running into each other for the first time many years from now, and you'll find that they were once Boy Scouts, and they start talking about it. But they know right away what? They can trust each other, that they will help each other. That goes a long way in this world because nobody makes it on their own. We all have to have comrades, friends, brothers, sisters. Having lived many years since I first swam in the Columbia River here as a boy, I know too that our country needs scouts. Our country needs young men of character. Our country needs young leaders who give their word and then mean what they say. Our country needs young men and women who believe in our country and do not become cynical when times are tough. They don't give up. Our country needs young leaders who treat all their fellow Americans with respect, which means our country needs every one of you. Every single one of you, we need you. I left home at age 17, only a few years older than you, and I joined the Marines a year later. Today, I often hear words like, thank you for your service. And among fellow Boy Scouts, I want to say again what you just heard in the question and answer period that was just playing. It was a privilege, it was an honor to wear our nation's uniform as a U.S. Marine. It was an honor to fight for America, and I was privileged to fight for America many times. And every one of you, every one of your families was worth every day that I served in the military. It was never a tough thing for me. It was never a burden. It was a privilege. It was an honor as I built on the Scout Oath and the Scout Law to create my own life, all about choices, and the Boy Scouts helped me prepare to make good choices based on character development that they built up in me and handed to me for me to do as I wished, but never to forget the Scout Oath and the Scout Law. Remember, a country doesn't need to be perfect to be worth fighting for, but it does need to be always striving to be better. And so we need you bright young lads to grow straight and strong, to show that freedom we enjoy means that we keep strong friendships with each other, that we help each other, that we know and understand each other. We need young leaders who respect each other and respect their fellow citizens. We need young leaders willing to listen to others, willing to roll up their sleeves and keep improving our country. We need young leaders who can build teams, build teamwork, and bring your enthusiasm to people who want to improve our country, but need to be formed into teams to do so. We do not need people who are hostile to others, who have different ideas for how to improve our country. We need to work together. And you are the young men so many of us look to for the future leaders for our towns, our cities, our states, our businesses, our military, our colleges. You, the Scouts, will be those leaders. Young leaders who put others first. Those three words I always had drilled into me as a leader, put others first. Who help the less fortunate, who never ignore bullying, but step forward to stop it. Young men and women who are strong enough to be kind and cheerful on tough days, who help others, coach others, and don't condemn them just because they think differently. So why do we need you to live up to your Scout Oath, your Scout Law? Because America is one just great big experiment. It's a great big experiment because our government is made up of the people, by the people, and for the people. Our country is of the people, by the people, for the people. We don't give government to someone else. We govern ourselves. That means you, as you grow older, are going to be part of this government, part of this great big experiment that we want to pass on all of our freedoms to the next generation, to your children, the same freedoms that you enjoy today. We must respect each other if we're going to do this, if we're going to keep this experiment alive. We must work together as a team, just like the Scouts teach you, to keep our freedoms alive and our respect and our courtesy toward one another alive. We need you, Scouts, physically strong, mentally awake, morally straight, young men and women who help their fellow Scouts when they fall short, who help those in our community who are not as fortunate, and young men who put others first. Remember, my fine young men and women, live up to your oath in the Scout Law. Take care of each other. Take care of each other and put others first. respect others, and always stand up for what's right. Thank you again for having me with you this morning. It's a great privilege to be here, and all the best to you.